Fall is one of my favorite times of the years, and just because we teach older upper elementary kids doesn't mean we shouldn't be able to do those fun seasonal activities, you know, that are standards based because we're a tested grade. So stick around because in this video I have some fun fall activities that I think your students are going to love. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Rachel Vincent and I love sharing ways to help teachers simplify their classroom and their teaching. One of my favorite ways to kick off the fall season with my students is by having pet pumpkins. I've done this many different ways over the years. I've got the little tiny pumpkins, real pumpkins. I've gotten plastic fake pumpkins. Whatever you want to do, just a small version of a pumpkin that students adopt from the pumpkin patch and take care of all week. Each day students write about their pumpkin, and this is where those standards-based skills come into play. I don't know about your writing curriculum, but most of our writing curriculum is informational based. They're writing text evidence dependent writing, they're doing opinion writing, they're doing research, and so I wanted to bring in a little more fun elements into their writing with the Pet Pumpkin Project. So of course they get some of that informational writing by writing a descriptive paragraph all about their pumpkin. They write a letter to their pumpkin telling them why they chose them out of all the other pumpkins in the pumpkin patch. They write about their adventures after school with the pumpkin. We leave the pumpkin in our classroom during our music or art, and then they write a fantasy story about what their pumpkin did while they were gone. They do a whole little writing about their pumpkin as a secret identity that they have, and then at the end of the week they actually write a persuasive letter to convince me to let them keep their pumpkins, which of course I already knew they were going to do from the beginning. Students really get into this whole writing activity and taking care of their pumpkins, and you would be surprised what 10-11-year-olds love to do is to take care of a little tiny pumpkin. Typically the Pet Pumpkin Project sort of kicks off our whole week of pumpkins. Now I know a lot of the younger grades do pumpkin weeks and apple weeks and they do all these things, but in 4th grade we do it just as well. I take whatever standards we're working on that week and just make it all pumpkin based. Oftentimes we tend to be working on like nonfiction text structures or main idea and details, so I just find pumpkin themed passages and we do the skill just on a pumpkin theme. Whatever skill we're doing in math, multiplication, we just add pumpkin theme word problems or anything like that just to kind of spice it up to make it feel a little more exciting and interesting. Poetry writing is really my favorite way to incorporate any kind of season, and that's especially true in the fall. I have fall, Halloween, and Thanksgiving themed poetry, and once you teach students how to write in a certain style, whether it's an acrostic or a cinquain or diamante, a haiku, it becomes an independent activity once I teach it the first time, and they can do these activities all throughout the year. As we move into November and Thanksgiving season, we really start to talk about gratitude and what that is during our morning meeting times. One of our morning meetings, we go on a gratitude walk where we just walk around and they write down things that they feel gratitude for. We go outside and let them get into nature and do the same thing. Again, I'm taking the standards we're already teaching and incorporating those seasonal activities. I like to do an upper elementary version of a story map where they're not just writing who the characters are, the setting, and the plot. We add in theme and how the character changes over time on all of the different feathers to make a cute little turkey craft, just again to spice things up. I love using the book Balloons Over Broadway to talk about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Now I've seen this sort of project all over the internet over the years, and a lot of people use actual balloons to make things a little bit easier. I just give them construction paper to create their balloons, but they cut out 2 papers, and so they have a front and a back, and they take their scraps and crumble it up and stuff it in, and we staple around to make sort of a 3D effect shape, and we've even had a parade with our balloons. I know many schools have the entire week of Thanksgiving off. I work at a school where we go Monday and Tuesday, and so those 2 days right before break are often filled with these fun Thanksgiving themed activities. One of the things I love that my grade level does is on the last day before break, we do Thanksgiving rotations where each class rotates to a different teacher, and we all do a different Thanksgiving themed activity. We've done escape rooms, we've done the Balloons Over Broadway. There's a stop motion version that I got from TPT. I'll link that below because the kids loved that one. We've done STEAM activities, all kinds of fun things. And the nice thing is you only have to come up with one activity and your grade level teammates come up with another, and the kids get to have a variety of fun Thanksgiving themed activities before break. Check out the description box below for a link to a blog post that I wrote that goes into even more detail about these activities, and for any of the links to TPT of some of these activities and products that I have mentioned throughout. And if you need some non-seasonal ways to add some fun into your classroom, check out the video that's on your screen for some of my favorite games to play during math.